So check this out, right? I just fucked up and I didn't realize it and I shouldn't have did it, but I did it anyway. So we're live, right? And I'm hella mad, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna have to kind of deal with that when it comes to doing the yeah I mean later. Ah, that really sucks.
That
Oh well.
happened.
Okay.
Chris,
Don't worry about it.
Hit chat.
I'll let you guys know in a minute. I definitely fucked up. Yeah. Ooh, and I messed up again because I cursed a little bit too early. Oh well. Oh man, we're just gonna have to deal with that. Anyways, we're gonna have a really fun show tonight.
Oh yeah.
You guys ready for the show?
Oh
yeah. I don't know what that means.
People with cars.
Oh gosh. Do you want to get into that? Really?
Man. Line on my registration. Line on my registration. Line on my registration. Line on my registration. And it was like, you are. Give us your car. And I was like, all right, man, you got it. You called me.
Hey man,
you got me. You got me.
On the bright side, we had this happen. So for everybody that's watching who missed the news over this past weekend, shout out to the 2024 Royal Rumble winner, the men's Royal Rumble winner, at least, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, as he reacted to some memes on IGN. Check it out.
Brock Lesnar playing an evolved version of Cody Rhodes if they were Pokemon. That's about right. This one might be my favorite of the bunch, and it's a little more under the radar than some of the other memes. But I enjoy the brief time we stood together before he turned on me, just because I thought I had a great partner. But if I could have an evolved version Pokemon of myself, I'd want it to be like Brock in terms of quickness, in terms of strength, and just sheer intimidating presence. So this one I'm going to give a 10 out of 10.
Damn right.
10 out of 10, bro.
10 out of 10, bro. I like that. I appreciate that. Salute to the American Nightmare. Salute to the King of the South.
You know, man.
Because I was a little nervous when I seen it was a Brock one. When I seen it was a Brock Lesnar one, I got a little nervous. I said, "Hold up, where are we going with this?" I said, "How come every time I do some shit, y'all, it's always frowned upon when y'all bring it up."
No,
a wrestler that everybody likes interacts with us. Everybody's like, "Hey, man, that dude's an asshole." Hey, shout out to AJ Francis. Whenever we interact with somebody, y'all don't like this dude. I'm like, damn,
bro. Okay. I'm glad that Cody Rhodes found that one. Like out of all the tweets that we all made about young Coaster, you found the right one because I know he vanity searched that. It was like, well, what else did they say? Oh, a lot of koofies on me, huh? Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Oh, they put a koofy on my torn. Oh yeah, these guys are we should have a follow right after that actually.
Man, I don't know what we should have got, but that shit was crazy. That was definitely crazy. Salute to Cody Rhodes. I appreciated that. That was cool. Anyways, you guys want to start the show?
Yeah.
Sure.
No?
We patting ourselves in the back.
It's Vengeance Day. I ain't got no car no more, and I'm crying. What the fuck?
Tell him I probably send your wish to give me some chicken. If you ain't knowing, love, it's your list.
I apologize.
Ladies and gentlemen, people with jobs, people without jobs, middle class, upper class, high class, all that. Remember all that? Cats, shakes, snickers, and ducks, elderly people and twerkers, all that stuff. I don't even know if I like doing that intro anymore. I think I'm gonna do something different.
Switching it up.
I feel like, to kind of keep this thing fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys deserve a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
And we appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So this is This is how we kind of do things over here. You know what I'm saying? I go by the name, oh my God, Graham. You feel me? You can just call me Graham. You can call me Modelo Negra. You feel me? Grammy Davis. You know what I'm saying? Grammy Davis Jr. You know what I'm saying? Rob Van Graham. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's a plethora of things, you know what I'm saying, that we can go
That's
to.
my favorite. I call him
Grandpa, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, my little one has a little one, I'll be Grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but anyways, I'm Graham. Hi. This is your first time hearing this. You are about to experience something so cold. Shit like that. That's Ben. This way. He's on that side. Yeah. Ben's on this side. What's up?
This side.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, this side. That side. How you doing, Ben?
I'm great. I wish I was doing better. We can get into that later, but you know,
you're not doing good. You're not happy.
Nah. Some of the news hit this week, like specifically on Monday. We're gonna get into that. Like I promised people another sad boy rant.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, man.
As a matter of fact, let me change my name on here. If you're listening,
God,
you're not gonna be able to see this.
Tell us what it says, y'all. At least you got a car and 2 biceps. Some niggas don't got one or the other.
I'm sorry for you, brother. I'm definitely sorry for you. Yeah.
Not you, Philip.
So not only is Benny the Butcher here, of course, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Trap McAfee, CJ, Young Jizzle's in the building. Under different circumstances, he probably never mind. Well, you know what, CJ? Because you're my brother, you know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of Deuce with me. I'm gonna join you.
Yo, man.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
Toast to you and toast to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit late on it. I apologize. I should have said that first, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We'll be joined by Dave Schilling here in just a bit. We're going to talk a little bit of you know who. Yeah, y'all know. Anyway, Voldemort McMahon. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. You can't say his name, bro. You really can't say that dude's name.
Voldemort McMahon. That's what we're gonna call him now. You feel me? We're gonna call him Voldemort McMahon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Vince Vuffy.
Yuck.
Come on, bro. Like, what you mean? You already broke the rule.
The Vince. Yeah.
And again, you're breaking the. We try to establish a new rule, and here you go, just going against the grain. You already been outvoted. Stop.
Nah, say his name.
Lost. No.
Oh, nah. Oh, you get even worse.
No. Fuck that name.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, that was crazy.
I'm done.
And on Black History Month, no less, my brother.
That's crazy. You guys want to go ahead and get into small package news? Let's go ahead and get into small package news. Let's go ahead and do that because CJ is wild.
Palate cleanser.
Yeah, sometimes we need a palate cleanser. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got this. You know?
Like that.
There's too many saxophones for me.
You are crazy. Anyways, Dark Side of the Ring is coming back. Dark Side of the Ring season 5 has been announced. They I don't know, man. I think they're kind of running out of things to talk about, if I'm going to be honest with you. But it looks like this upcoming season of Dark Side of the Ring is going to feature Sensational Sherry, Buff Bagwell, The Sandman, Harley Race, Brutus Beefcake, among others. I don't know, man. There's a couple of them on there that I'm like, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like what we're doing here. It was like rumored that they were gonna try to do like a Kurt Angle episode, and I'm like, what's so dark about Kurt Angle, man? He popped a couple perks. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't did that. You know what I'm saying? Who ain't did that? You know what
what hasn't he done more than anybody else has done in all these other stories, except I'm just saying,
be
loved. They ain't got a Marty Jannetty episode yet. Like
they did they did do a Marty Jannetty episode actually last season, season 4. And actually, now that you mention that, Jizzle, speaking of Marty Jannetty, he actually just announced that he's going to have his leg amputated, just due to some complications with a long-standing blood infection in his ankle that has basically spread, and at this point it is it's up, bro. It's up for Mr. Yeah, and I apologize. That kind of sucks, bro. Yeah, man. Salute to Marty, man.
I wish the nigga getting his leg taken blood. Like, I don't want nobody to ever get their leg taken.
Dang, bro,
that's crazy.
Yeah, bro, they took a nigga leg.
Hold your head, bro.
Yeah, not taking my leg.
It's over with for a nigga leg. Yeah. Give me some butter, baby.
Butter on it.
Yo,
you can't do that. You definitely can't do that.
Nobody deserves to have their leg taken, man. So hopefully you good, Marty. Even though you talk some shit, but you know what I mean, they ain't got nothing to do with me. So yeah, hopefully you good. But anyway.
Definitely salute to Marty Jannetty. Let's speed things up a little bit. Love and WWE, of course, premieres on Hulu. Bianca Belair and Montez Ford. They just had the little premiere, party with the little screening. A lot of people was there. MVP Bobby Lash was there. was there. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. Angelo Dawkins, of course. You know what I'm saying? A plethora of WWE talent, family, and friends that showed up. So, yeah, you guys check that out on Hulu. Love and WWE, Bianca and Montez. I think that I mentioned last week, I believe, you feel me? Like, again, you know what I'm saying? They're definitely, I think it's Love and WWE, Bianca and Montez, so they could possibly lean into the idea of doing other couples, like I don't know, Seth and Becky, Charlotte and Andrade.
Nah, man, you got to lead with them. If that was the point, you got to lead with
Seth and Becky.
Them. Yeah, like those supposed to be your cornerstones of each division, right? If that just shows
on Black History Month.
Thank you.
On Black History Month. On Black History Month.
That's exactly where I was gonna go with it. That's exactly where I was gonna go with it.
You niggas is not gonna fucking step on my shit with what I was trying to say, nigga. Niggas has been selling.
Go ahead, say
niggas have been selling since fucking 1883, nigga. February 1st, nigga. We run the world, nigga. They knew who to put on the fucking front, nigga. It should be them and them alone, nigga. It should be no Love in WWE. It should be them and them, nigga. And then if anybody else does some couple shit, nigga, they should get a piece of it. Which is what I was trying to say.
He's trying to turn this into an NFT.
I'm not trying to turn this into nothing, nigga. That's like, you're not gonna
Anyways, like I said, let's speed this up. So go ahead and check that out on Hulu. Y'all talking about? Let's go ahead and check that out on Hulu. Salute to Mr. Larry David. Larry David tapped in with Bill Simmons and the wrestling audience didn't necessarily like it. But yeah, so Larry David popped up on you know what I'm saying, the Bill Simmons podcast. They were talking about his Netflix documentary and all that good stuff. And then he had this to say about professional wrestling.
You watch wrestling? Yeah. What is that? You're out on wrestling? Are you? What? What is this with you and wrestling? This goes back to being a kid. Yeah, I watched it when I was a kid too. and then I realized it was fixed and I stopped watching. It's performance. Oh, so you love the performance? Yeah, I don't think it's real. It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe Roman Reigns won again. Yeah. No, it's but they're all the same, aren't they? I mean, every match looks the same.
Clearly, this is somebody that's not informed, right?
No, you don't know.
Oh my God.
Listen, I only watch your show for JB Smooth anyway, Larry. So yeah, shout out to you.
Oh nah, we're not okay. We not shitting on Curb. We're not shitting on Curb. We not. It's not this kind of podcast. We're not shitting on Curb.
Let's finish it up.
There's some art to it. There's art in the storytelling, how they build arcs. It's not much different than what we're trying to do with Curb. But listen, you're watching this thing. Yeah, you know that it's not fixed, but the people who are there, they think it's real. No, they do. Are you kidding? They go crazy. They wouldn't go crazy if they thought that it was real.
Have you seen Chris Jericho in that dress,
bro?
So there was an additional clip in there of a screenshot of Larry David getting screamed at through the window by a gentleman by the name of Thor Olson. He was a professional wrestler, season 2 of Curb.
Great episode. Great episode.
By the way, no, I just want y'all to know.
So Thor chimed in. You feel me?
Oh,
he's leaning into working a little bit, guys. Check out the new season of Curb.
Oh, most definitely, bro. Like a lot of people. I saw a lot of people were mad about it. They're like, man, he obviously doesn't know. Blah, blah. I'm like, yo, this is fucking Larry David, bro.
That's Larry fucking
even if
David,
he does know, you kind of got to write it off because like he just be saying shit.
But I bet you Larry David told them niggas like, man, you know we ripping off a black dude. Like, yeah, whatever. Larry David know what's going on. He was just talking shit. A lot of people feel that way. All the people that you love feel that way. Bro, so whatever.
Go around your family. Go around. I guarantee you. Your uncle find out you watch wrestling. You still watching that fake ass shit? Listen, hey, listen to this. That boy still watching that fake shit. Yo, man, y'all act like Larry David, bro. Chill.
But let your uncle know that the Undertaker still wrestling. He's like, yo, Undertaker still wrestling? Word? That's my nigga, blood.
Let's get into AEW. Salute to all black uncles and salute to the Undertaker. Ben, what was your favorite part of Dynamite this week? What attracted you? What drew you to the show? What were you excited about? What really got your juices pumping for Dynamite, man?
I mean, like the main event, we didn't really know who Swerve was gonna face because it was an opponent of Hangman's choosing. They didn't mention it. At least I didn't know.
Hangman said you're gonna be it's gonna be like he's like you're gonna get the whole effing show or whatever.
I mean, he didn't.
Anyways,
everybody
he did kind of lead. He did kind of
go ahead.
He did kind of lead into it, but around that time I was doing shit because I was walking in and out of the room, so I probably didn't hear that. But either way, the RVD, like the pop that he always gets, it makes me happy. And to see him going out there and doing it at 53 years old, still hitting the same moves that he was hitting 20 years ago, it's like crazy to see. They had a really good match. And even in the beginning, Mox and Jeff Hardy had a really good match too. Jeff Hardy trying to beat the washed allegations real bad. Like, oh my God. And Mox doing the whole thing with the earlobe. Like, Jeff, like, you got to tell these niggas, bro. Stop.
No.
Hands up. Hands up right now.
He doesn't want
gross. This is gross.
He like doing stuff like that. Like, that's his bag. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he trying to, you know what I'm saying? He really trying to go crazy. That's if he don't do that, he feel like he not really giving it his 110% type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hands up. Oh,
I guess.
He asked for this. Didn't he? Wasn't he complain on Twitter just like every other athlete in the world does? Like, I'm tired of not doing this. I want to be. And like he's been like actually back-to-back weeks. He's been in 2 really good matches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so maybe he's been. And then Moxley is the Bill Russell of AEW for a reason. All right. Because, if you have gauges, my dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm the most violent person to ever walk this earth. Like, yes, I'm going to fucking, yes, I saw him do that. Yes, I saw Randy Orton do that. Yeah, he learned that from me. Because I told him, if I was you, my nigga, that's what I would do. If I was you, I would just put my finger through his gauges, you know what I'm saying, punch him out, and then, twist him. So Moxley was like, might as well do it. And then,
I bet it's
he
crazy
won.
Over there.
So listen, don't have gauges. All right, you know what I mean. If you don't want your fucking stuff to be messed with, don't have them.
Exactly.
That's it.
What about the Deonna Purrazzo and Ty Valkyrie match?
I think they did a lot. I think they did a lot for what it should have been.
What they're trying to accomplish here, as far as trying to put Deonna Purrazzo over and, you know what I'm saying, make her look like a strong competitor, you know what I'm saying, to go against Tony Storm for this title.
I don't think Ty Valkyrie and Johnny, whatever the fuck he is this week. Like, Johnny I don't think he should have been in that. Like, you could have used somebody else for that spot if you wanted to make Deanna look good. Because Tyra's one of the ones that's supposed to be holding it down too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Let's see. But no, I feel you on that. The video package them had pointed out that there was a video package that Deonna Purrazzo had where she was talking about all of my tattoos are representative of something so important to me and my family. It's like, there's the date that I started wrestling. There's this tattoo that I have of Tony Storm, a Bible verse, this, that, and the third. And what is our tattoo that we have together? This duck, quack quack, side duck that they got. They got a little side duck tattoo on their little ankle. You feel me?
Getting the side duck as friends.
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. It's like a little side duck tattoo or something like that. You feel me? That they got on their little ankle. You feel me? And she was like, I don't know what this means to you, but this means a lot to me. And this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. So they did that, and then she beat Taya Valkyrie, and now she's, I guess closer to being the number one contender, or at least considered as such. There you go.
Oh man, you mean to tell me that AEW gave an incoming superstar a automatic title shot?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what happened there. That's what happened there.
Supposed to do. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
If you're gonna put them over as a star, why not?
Yeah, I just don't want Taya, because Taya and Jade had their little thing, because that was the best thing going over on that Rampage Collision multiverse over there, for real, with Chris Jericho.
In the live comments here, Humble Lady 5 says, just curious, why did AEW bring back the rankings? It is not resonating on TV. I don't know. That's one of the things that I did want to talk about briefly. Go ahead, Jizzle. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Miss Humble _85. I got an underscore on my name too. Like, they did that because Tony Khan came up out of his face and started talking about Jinder Mahal. I don't know if you remember that a couple weeks ago. And talk about people deserving title shots, and then try to make a thing for Hook. And then when they did that, literally 96 hours later, the rankings were back. That's just my opinion, though. That's all.
I'd like to provide a counterpoint. I think they brought back the rankings because reports a while ago after they did the tournament that it was more like sports-based tournament, and that they were trying to lean back into like actual like sports-based, like kind of like a wrestling setup. I think that's why they brought it back. That could like the whole gender thing could have something to do with it being expedited, but I think like that one probably plays a factor in it, like them trying to like get back into that.
Whoever it is, it's their fault. They ain't had no rankings before this. Like, listen, there was no rankings before. Like, they didn't say nothing about rankings. They didn't even say the word rank.
Do you not like rank? What don't you like about the rankings?
It's wrestling, dog. The rankings
so they can have
whatever. The rankings are whatever. Like, listen, you could be as undefeated as you want, nigga. But if you fight this nigga. If you fight this new Wardlow who just destroyed, like, who the Wardlow just murdered?
Commander.
Like, Commander, like even like Commander and CMLL, they're trying to make a little invasion angle. Like, come on, dog. You saying we sent out Christian Beneo to get you up out of there. But
I don't really know too much about the CMLL thing, but I do invite you to join Ollie Lee with Keeks this upcoming Monday right here on Public Enemies on YouTube. She'll kind of give you some background on what's going on there. Better than we can, of course.
Shout out to Keeks. You know what I'm saying?
But I did want to talk about the rankings because they did officially drop the new rankings. And it looks like such. If you're watching in the live chat, you know what I'm saying, with us on YouTube or on Twitch or what have you, you feel me? I'll go ahead and move this down so you can check it out a little bit better. But yeah, so they got the top contenders pretty much for each division here as far as the men's, the women's, the tag team, and the trios. Of course, Swerve appears to be the number one contender here for any one of the men's championships, I guess.
Which one you want, big dog? It's lit.
That kind of confuses me about the rankings. Also, there, I believe, is one glaring omission here when it comes to the rankings. As you can see, and I'll point to as an example, the trios division, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, I'm not saying that name, are the AEW trios champions. And the number one contenders, as you can see there, are listed as Bullet Club Gold. I don't know, man. I kind of have a problem with that here because the Bullet Club Gold are the ROH 6-man tag team champions. And if you're going to say that they, as AEW competitors who just so happen to be ROH 6-man tag team champions, and they're on such a roll that they deserve to be number one contenders to the AEW trios titles, then I have one glaring omission to point to, and that is Miss Athena, who is the ROH women's champion, who just so happens to be this champion, but is an AEW competitor, and still she is nowhere listed here when it comes to the women's contenders. And I don't know if they have explained that or why that is so, but I think that's a glaring omission to what they're trying to accomplish here. If they're saying that the strongest competitors should be considered top contenders, and Deonna Purrazzo definitely does not have the stripes that Athena has at this point. But salute to Deonna Purrazzo. That is not a slight at her. I'm just looking at the way that they've structured and built out these rankings here.
Bruh, first off, let's go back. Let's talk about the women's division, like with that ranking, because if you're gonna do it like that, you're gonna bring it back out of nowhere. Sheeta should be number one, just like Duke or like Kentucky. Like
you're just saying that because you like Sheeta. That's you don't have anything
that's
to
true.
stand on. There's people that have better rankings.
House of Black should be number one in any trios, anything, because all these other trios things are put together. It should be like House of Black, Dark Order, because they're the only like real like faction teams thing that you have in here, other than the Bullet Club Gold, who's cool with Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. Like, so they like gang now, so they ain't gonna fight each other. So you might as well have House of Black at the top.
Yeah. Not necessarily.
I think House of Black should be number one in the trios.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on. That's understandable, though. That is understandable, though, because they do win a lot of matches. But I don't know. I think there's people that have more matches than them, to be honest with you. So I think that's kind of why they're not necessarily listed at the top of the contenders list currently.
I mean, like, I'm not mad at the rankings if they pay more attention to them than they did last time, because like it seems like whenever rankings like that are introduced into wrestling, they kind of like pay attention to it for like all the 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, they're throwing it out the window, and then they're covering it up with excuses. I remember when Chris Jericho took on Jungle Boy, and they were like, "Well, he challenged him to the match," and I'm like, all right, bro, whatever you say. But
I think that's acceptable, though. I think stuff like that is.
I don't like the loophole shit. Don't do that little loophole shit with me, bro. Like,
okay. Understandable. Well, that's wrestling. We got to politic a little bit here. So next week, you feel me? And like you said earlier, you know what I'm saying, when we were talking about the main event with Swerve and RVD, that of course led to next week on Dynamite, you're going to get a number one contenders match between Swerve and Hangman to determine who's going to fight Samoa Joe at Revolution for the AEW World Championship. And that I don't know what's going to happen there, but they did also announce that a few weeks ago that next week you're going to get the tag team titles on the line with Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Sting and Darby Allin. I believe that's a given right there, of course. But
also that title at Revolution, dog.
Also, Tony Khan has another major announcement. A big announcement. Excuse me. I apologize. He will make a big announcement next week on Dynamite. Definitely looking forward to that and seeing what that is. Yeah, there's a possibility that it's a possibility that this could either lead to maybe Mercedes, Okada, I don't know, some things like that in the works, in the wheels, both of them. I don't know. That'd be interesting if he was to come off and be like, yeah, I'm going right at it. F you, and maybe not inwards, but I mean,
F you inwards in the WWE.
you naysayers.
He says it.
You feel me? No, but
Jalen Ramsey in word.
Nah, that's funny. I don't know, man. There's a possibility that it could be either one. Andrew Zarian, who has been closely reporting, or at least closely trying to follow this Mercedes Moné situation, kind of hinted at this possibly being her. He tweeted a bunch of those eye emojis with the little dollar signs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Maybe that. Maybe, like you said, maybe Okada. Maybe something else. You know what I'm saying? Ben, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? Because you're under the impression that something else could be going on with Okada, right? The PW Pro Wrestling Tees thing or whatever.
He going to the Fed.
Oh, we got. All right, cool. There you go.
Going to the Fed. Nah, bro. Nah, for real. Like, he get like y'all. Yeah, apparently, like they pulled all of Okada's merch from Pro Wrestling Tees. Graham told me that don't mean nothing because that's not connect. Neither one of them are having any connection with WWE. What did you say? What is? I mean, let me look in the notes. Let me look and see what Sink said. He leaving passive aggressive notes back towards me, basically saying, "Nigga, you don't know what you're talking about."
Hey,
I said, I can't believe this shit.
No curtain call this fucking podcast right now, big dog. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, Okada pull for merch. Pro Wrestling Tees reportedly not connected to WWE or AEW. Basically, I was like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Not even that. But literally, go ahead.
But according to Fightful Select, WWE sources confirmed that they have been in talks with Okada on the WWE side. And there have been WWE talent that confirmed in the last few weeks Okada has been in contact with others on the roster to gauge his offers.
But don't give me that Rooney Rule shit going on right now.
Is there anything else in that report about what the AEW side says? Is there a significant offer that exactly?
No, you know why? Because they've been talking
you don't want to like. Here's the thing.
They've been talking to that nigga Blood. Like, listen, you niggas just got in on it. You know what I mean? Like, WWE is, of course, you're supposed to fucking be like, yo, yeah, I'm going to talk to one of the best wrestlers of this generation. Like, yeah, he was like, listen, you want to come over here? Like, we'll do da-da-da-da. But, like, he been talking to AEW. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no different than any other sport. Like, we've been talking to you. You just started talking to me. Now it's going to be a little bit longer for my decision. You know, like, I might want to go back to New Japan.
This my thing, right? He's literally been a free agent at this point for 24 hours. So when these wrestling websites be reporting, oh, he's been in talks with this person and that person and this person and that person, so they're promoting contract tampering? Because who are you? You know, like, or does his contract state he can, you know what I'm saying, negotiate early? Because if it's been 24 hours and they say, oh, yeah, well, there's talks that, he's been to the room just to see what the culture is like and what the feeling and the atmosphere is like. And if he wants to go to WWE because he wants to main event WrestleMania, or at least he wants to have a match at WrestleMania, or, you know, that, like, whatever the case may be, you feel me? It's like, whatever, I don't trust it all the way.
I mean, damn, I can't talk to my friends over there. I can't text my friends in the locker room and ask, hey, what's the atmosphere like over there? I can't check in. I can't check in with the vibe. I can't vibe check.
And the thing is,
bro, that's a sad world you live in, Graham. Damn, man.
But and the thing is, like, I'm calling niggas over at AEW, and they're like, yeah, man, it's cool. But then I'm calling, like, you know what I'm saying, my big homie, you know what I'm saying, Big Nakamura. I'm calling EO and them, and they're like, yo, man, nigga, we over here chilling, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about, cuz? You know what I'm saying? Like, we over here kicking it. You know what I'm saying? You might have to move to Florida, though. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Say a little Clearwater. You know what I'm saying? There's a house right next to Roy Jones I can get you in right now. Look, listen, we over here chilling, cuz. Like, we chilling. I don't know if you know that. Shinsuke's like, yo, but come on over here, cuz the house right next door to me just opened up.
Right.
So I'll get you into this house. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no other shit going on no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Big Paul, you know what I'm saying, he's running the stuff. He's gonna make you do some stuff for real. Or you can talk to Shawn. You a Shawn Michaels fan? I don't like that nigga, but you like him. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to him if you want to. But listen, man, I'm over here chilling, cuz. Like, WWE jumping into this shit is the worst thing that AEW could happen. You'll be like, yo, what? Like, I can talk to his big homie. Like, oh.
Let's switch gears here.
Hold on, wait before we leave that. Hold on, like we can move on after this. Like, bro, and the other thing is, like, you go to AEW, you still gonna have to see some of them New Japan niggas like once in a while. Like, like they still be popping up over there sometimes. So you wanna really get rid of them? Go over to the Fed, bro. Fair bound.
Yeah. Question of the week.
Shit, yeah, we go.
Who niggas like some letters? Y'all niggas like the letters. What the fuck y'all think? That's a new song.
Damn.
You've got mail.
Oh my god, I'm never ready for that. Shout out. Question of the week. Who should Seth Rollins face at WrestleMania? Because it's not looking like it's Cody. It's not CM Punk. We'll get into that in a minute. We'll kick it off at Billy Mays the third, bro.
Infinite third. You can't read.
Parentheses. No, I said this. I was saying name, and then I was gonna go to it. Don't do that to me, nigga. Don't do that. You trying to be funny, trying to
go.
So much.
No, real quick. We got a guess. Go ahead.
Yo, R-Truth, parentheses, seriously. I read that.
Please go.
Okay. Yo, shout out to at Garcia 26A. Seth versus Drew versus Sammy triple threat match. I don't know. Let's go to the next one. Yo, shout out to Cherry. Him, and he should win. And that him is Drew McIntyre. I just want to let people know we dubbed him Player Hater of the Year. Shout out to Epic Vic. Got to be Drew after this Player Hater of the Year performance he put on. We gave him that name, and he posted on TikTok. Unsung Heroes. Shout out to at Sweeney Kerr 48475. Bro, you got a lot of numbers on there. Gunther. Make him a double champion and have him win and have him be the Roman of Raw. Okay. I mean, he'll be a double champion. Shout out to Robert _Julius. Fatal 5-way elimination match. If Triple H can bring Jordan Grace, maybe we can get Seth versus Drew versus Josh Alexander versus Drew McIntyre versus Chris Sabin versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Oh my God, bro. What do you want? Yo, my apologies. Thank you for tapping into the show. I can't be that aggressive with y'all. Shout out to forefather of SWW, the one nobody would expect, LA Knight. Shout out to at Mr. Z _White II. That's the second. My bad. Player Hater of the Year, Drew McIntyre. Like I said, gave him that name. Shout out to at Prince _Nas 101, WWE's Player Hater of the Year. And that's it. That's all I got. Couldn't expound on y'all answers because Ground rushing me. And the nigga said I couldn't. The nigga said I couldn't read, bro. I can't get over this.
Illiterate nigga.
How you gonna say I can't read and not let me have an opportunity to fight back? Like, come on, man, let's go. All right.
And then what'd you do?
So who do y'all think he should face at WrestleMania?
I'll go.
I'm not asking you. Yeah, I'm just getting ready.
I like what's it? My boy 123 Jim said, like, listen, Gunther with an A. I'm with that. I mean, he has to be the break glass just in case of emergency. Day one WrestleMania thing.
Yeah, I thought I loaded this one up there. All ex WWE 73. Seth's opponent should be the ring general himself, Gunther. So you're not alone. Y'all not alone with these picks. A lot of people are leaning towards Gunther. I guess after the face-to-face they had on Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people were leaning into it, even Sports Illustrated included, where they were saying like, "Oh, that's the move." They might get their wish. They might get their wish. I mean, like, I'm not mad at a Gunther goes through Elimination Chamber, whoops ass, and then gets to have that match. But by no means necessary am I trying to see a triple threat of any kind. I saw some people creating some monstrosities online. They're like, it should be Roman versus Cody versus Seth in a winner-take-all match. And I'm like, that sounds horrible. Like, bro, did you not just see a few years ago what we got out of? Y'all, like we should never get
Netflix in a year. We're going to Netflix in a year, big dog. We gotta get this belt on CM Punk eventually. So what we're gonna do is, like, you have Gunther go over there. Like, I like the Elimination Chamber idea, like you said, Ben. Or just have him go in there with saying win all the belts, and that'd be dope too. But especially since Seth was on there like begging, like nigga was on there begging, like, yo, so you should fight me, Cody. Cody was like, nah, nigga, like, yo, man, go over there, man. Like man, stop asking me to fight you, big dog.
Yo, what Nino Brown saying in the movie? He's like, man, you embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, man.
Go clean yourself up.
Man. Yeah, you said didn't like you anyway, pretty motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, pour champagne on Seth's head. Like, yo, get up out of here, big dog. You know what I'm saying? I got a story to finish. You know what I'm saying? No Goosebump book.
You're muted. You're muted, bro.
I'm muted. Oh,
muted.
I can't read. You can't talk.
All right. I was finna get my bars off too. Okay, so my bad. All right, so I apologize anyway. So I thought I had a good transition, but I feel like I ruined it. You feel me? With you know what I'm saying, my fumble, not knowing that I was muted. So let me just go ahead and invite in our guest here this evening. Salute to Mr. Dave Schilling for joining us, of course. And you may know this gentleman from his work with the LA Times. You feel me? He's been with the Guardian. He's done his. You feel me? You've seen his work there, the New York Post. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you've checked out what's the podcast that you're doing now, the King Cast. I've seen that you've been on a couple of episodes with those guys over there. So
I was the co-host of the Masked Man show on The Ringer for 2 years.
Very much so. You feel me?
And most importantly, former WWE writer. That's what I lead with when I do a wrestling podcast.
Light work.
See, I wanted to kind of softball him a little bit before I rolled him into that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of softball. You know what I'm saying? What? So you want me to just go ahead and, you feel me, just deck people in the mouth with it? You know what I'm saying?
People need to know my bona fides and what I bring to the table here. Okay,
I like that.
Real experience in the business.
He said, first and foremost, let's put some respect on my name. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it. Well, Mr. Dave Schilling, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you taking time and joining with us, you know what I'm saying, this evening. How are you, sir? You doing all right this evening?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm happy to be talking about the craziest fucking week in wrestling history ever. As far as I'm concerned, this is like stacks on stacks on stacks of fucked up shit and just things to talk about. It's WrestleMania season, and Vince McMahon is a pervert.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot because we're gonna go ahead and get into some crazy conversation.
Right. Oh my god, my brother! That's that opening line is gonna be. I cannot wait.
Well, if you have listen. If you haven't seen the news, if you've been under a rock, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Vince McMahon is a pervert. All of these allegations, this lawsuit, these details are just freaking egregious. They're disgusting. Like when we talked about it last week when the news first dropped, I hadn't really read too much into it because it like literally dropped maybe like hours before we were recording here. I got into some of that stuff. I was like, oh my goodness. I feel so bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? For the people that were involved in the victim. I don't want to say her name, but you know, but it's just super unfortunate, super disgusting details that were just far too disgusting for us to share in detail here. But Dave, what were your initial thoughts when you heard the news of this and when you kind of looked into what was going on here?
I wasn't surprised. I don't think anybody who ever interacted with Vince McMahon, worked there, knew what it was like in the office, was surprised that he was having affairs. It was kind of like common knowledge that he was sleeping around, that him and Linda were not really together, right? Like together. She lives who the fuck knows? I Florida or something. Like, she's not around. She hasn't come to the office. She doesn't have a title at the company. So we knew something was going on with Vince, right? And there were rumors in 2019 when I was there that he was having relations. That if he wasn't on time for a meeting, it was because he was having relations. And so I wasn't surprised that it was happening, but I was surprised that it was so fucked up, that it was so bad. And again, like, if you haven't heard what happened and you're still on the fence about if this guy is really the worst piece of shit on the planet, read the entire 70-page document. I did. I stayed up one night and I'm like, I'm just going to read the whole thing. And I realized it was starting when I was still in the company, that he was having these, because she first started coming around WrestleMania 35 when I was there. And he would text during the production meetings and he'd just be on his phone laughing to himself. We're all trying to talk about doing fucking Raw or SmackDown or like making WrestleMania. And he's just like, what's going on my fucking phone? And I don't know. Like, as soon as I read this, I thought, he's done. His career in wrestling is over. And it should be. It should have been over a long time ago. And all these guys who are talking about how Vince McMahon's a piece of shit now, like all the old veterans coming out on their podcasts that they do with whoever the fuck is like their pimp, giving them ad revenue. They're like, oh, Vince is horrible. I knew. Like, why didn't you do anything? You thought it was funny that he was having affairs with whoever. You thought it was a joke.
Hey, yo, I think the best part about this, that's kind of like when keeping it real goes wrong, was that he was really the catalyst of his own demise. Because, like, remember they tried to push him out? They tried to push him out like a year and a half ago. Like, listen, man, Triple H is going to run this joint right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to run this right here. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you can bow out. Listen, Stephanie's back in there. But he, just like an old nigga do, you know what I mean? Couldn't help himself. You know what I mean? Getting all in the way. I need to sell this company. And not knowing that you're selling to some real ass fucking sharks.
These are real Hollywood people, right?
Yeah,
these are people. This is
Ari.
Ari Emanuel is not going to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's keep Vince around just because we love the old guy, and we can just deny and spend a bunch of money on lawyers and keep this from ever like being a big story. It's a big story. The first time when it first came out, and it was just like, oh yeah, here's this hush money payment. We all thought it was bad, but now that we know what happened, it's beyond, right? Like, it's beyond fucked up, and he can never come back.
Oh, my bad. But I want to touch on something you said a second ago. You like the allegations that happened before, and people didn't know the gory details about what was happening. So a lot of it was swept under the rug. They were like, well, you know, he paid her off, or he paid them off, so, you know, they can't have that much of a problem with it, and they're signing NDAs. So, and now, like, a lot of people who stood up and said, hey, like, if you have to literally sign them to an NDA, you must have done some fucked up shit. And we all assume that, but there were a lot of people within media, you know, old, like you said, like old timers and people who were, you know, brought up by Vince McMahon, who literally were like, you know, whatever he does, I still love him. I called it like the Bill Cosby effect. Like, it's like, oh, because he on TV every week, and you had so many like older people who was hard for them to give it up. And it's like a lot of wrestling fans are the same way. Oh, but if it wasn't for Vince, there would be no wrestling. I'm like, I'm pretty sure wrestling was around before Vince McMahon like did what he did with WWE.
There are motherfuckers who would think that it would be better if he was not around, if he never fucking did wrestling, if he just stayed in North Carolina for the rest of his life. Like, there are people who think that he ruined wrestling, like straight up ruined it. And I think we do really love that guy, the character, you know, the guy that announced WrestleMania 10, and, you know, the guy that Austin poured beer on, and all those things that we remember from the character. But this is a real dude. And all of the stuff that people like really loved him for in the company, that he was a shark, that he was tough, that he was scary and intimidating. Like, those are the ways in which he abused women, right? Like if Vince McMahon used the tools that he developed to get a finish in the ring to get someone to have non-consensual sex with him in the office. Like it's the same thing. The guy is a master manipulator, and you see it in the text messages. You see it in the way that the timeline works out with how it started with this woman and how it ended. It's the same thing as how he treats the wrestlers.
It ain't no different than any other billionaire. You know what I mean? Like you hear these stories about a whole bunch of billionaires, how they just talk to people and like how they think that you're just whatever what it is. And like I don't know, like you're always going to try to make excuses for the people that you know say, well, you know, he did do WrestleMania 1, which was ass, and so like yo he was there for it. You know what I'm saying? He only fucking lied to his dad. He was on his deathbed, but at least we got this.
Vince McMahon is not a genius. I'll tell you that right. I say this all the time. Me and Chris Dunn, who I know has been on the show before, was at WWE with me at the same time. That's how we met and became friends. Great writer. Really was there for a lot of the best shit that happened in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
We always talk about, like, what did Vince really accomplish? How did he get this idea that he's a genius? Like, think about all the shit he did that sucked. Okay, he gets Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan, he takes from the AWA. He says, I'm gonna make a big star. Didn't create the character of Hulk Hogan. Didn't come up with his name, his look, none of it. He for 9 years or whatever, it's the company is a rocket ship. And then Hogan goes, and then what does Vince do? I don't know. Let's have Mantar. Let's have fucking
oh god.
Let's have Duke the Dumpster Droese and Isaac Yankem.
DDS.
Vince is not a good writer. Half the time he's not a good booker. Think about how terrible it was to watch Raw and SmackDown for years after WCW died. There were years where it was good or not so good or whatever.
Yeah, it goes in waves.
It goes in waves.
Like little baby versus right now.
But like 5 years ago, it was dog shit. It was unwatchable. And that's why AEW exists today. AEW only exists because Vince McMahon was such a horrible booker and so out of touch that somebody with $1 billion could just say, well, what if I did it like a little different and not that much better, but better so that people will watch it and not this shit? It was so bad. Vince McMahon is not a genius. And he is a terrible person, period.
I think, and I don't know, speaking of, the possible terrible people, Chris Jericho kind of said, he said Vince McMahon is kind of like a good filter. Like his thing is kind of being able to take your idea and being able to take it from this to this, or he's like
put some parsley on it.
That is also bullshit. That is
some Parmesan
bullshit.
cheese and some extra virgin olive oil on it. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't do anything like that. Vince McMahon made every idea worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every single one. He got Ricochet, and he's like, well, what if we put a cape on him? What if we put a bullet sound at the beginning of his theme music? There was a day we had to everybody was responsible for nicknames for Ricochet.
Yeah.
And they were all just dog shit, like the man from outer space or something. Like, why are we doing this? Why are you asking me for nicknames for Ricochet? He's already called Ricochet. Yeah. The best thing he does is wrestle. Just let him do that. And that's where Tony Khan came in, right? Tony Khan said, what if I just let him wrestle? What if I just let him beat themselves? And that was revolutionary 5 years ago. Not so much now, but you wanted that opportunity for these dudes to just, and the women too, to be able to do what they do well without a guy like Vince McMahon getting in the way.
Exactly.
Okay, so I feel that. Go ahead, Ben.
And on top of what you said about what Graham said about filtering ideas, there were the prideful nature of it. You literally bought a company, and instead of using their ideas, every hero that they had come in, you're like, I got to kill these guys to make sure people know we're the top dog. You bring in every former hero from WCW all the way down to fucking Sting, and you're like, nah, I got to kill him in front of everybody.
But that's how he treated that woman. He booked these guys The same way he treated that woman is he said, come on in. I'll pay you millions of dollars. I'll put you on WrestleMania. You'll win the title at some point. You'll sell a bunch of T-shirts. And then a few months later, he's like, BMW. You motherfucker, lay down. You're losing tonight to Triple H, or you're losing tonight to whoever, you know. Booker T and Triple H at WrestleMania. I'm sure Vince sold it like, you're going to be in the title match at WrestleMania, and it's going to be you, and it's going to be Triple H, and it's going to be in the stadium, and it's going to be fantastic. And then it's like, well, okay, he's going to do the pedigree on you, and then for 10 seconds, you're just going to lay there. And then he's going to crawl over, and then he's going to cover you. And by the way, a few months before that, he's going to say all kinds of fucked up shit about your race. Be super racist for the whole build, and then you're going to do a job. Like, that's how he treated this woman. He built her up, he tore her down, built her up, tore her down, and that's what he does to every wrestler. That's it. That's why they're so dedicated to him, because they desire his praise so much.
His
they
affection and his praise.
Yeah. He's an abusive father.
Yeah, bro.
And you're right. And there's so many people that look at him and have said on record they look at him like a father figure.
Bret Hart says it. Bret Hart
you got your own daddy.
He got fucked over worse than anybody. Vince fucked him over in public. Yeah. And he's still like, man, I learned so much from Vince.
You spit in his face in front of your compatriots. Yeah, and he was like, yo, man, but yo, he cool though.
He crossed the one line you don't cross in wrestling, which is don't change the finish and screw somebody over in the middle of the match.
Don't work the boys, right?
He worked everybody, and Bret's still like, oh, you know what? He killed my brother, but whatever.
So it's like, have you guys, are any of you guys familiar with like Iceberg Slim? It's like that part in the in his book is like, yo, like he did all that, like he talked to the older pimp, like he's like, yo, how do I get her to stay in line? That's Vince McMahon, like Vince McMahon is the older pimp.
He's in the game. He's walking down the street with his cane and his fucking hat and his Cadillac. That's who he is. He's a pimp.
So he's definitely selling that blue magic.
So with these, that's funny. So with the reports in regards to like Ari Emanuel and like what like TKO's response to this is going to be, and like I think it said something to the effect of like, you know, the links that he would go to to protect his investment, you know what I mean, in WWE, and basically, you know, the possibility of getting rid of anybody that was connected to Vince McMahon in any way, who may have possibly been in on this, who may have known about it, clued in on it, and didn't do anything about it. Like where do you think that like this can go, like, and like how far up the chain that this can be affected as far as who's there and who can be taken out of power, or you know what I mean, like what the landscape of WWE could look like if like they just really bring the hammer down and say this person's got to go for this, that, or the third.
Well, Stephanie McMahon's gone for a reason. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
If you think she didn't know anything, you're being naive. I'm sure she knew something. Everybody says that Stephanie's a wonderful person. I don't want to malign her publicly, but the chances are good that she knew something. Bruce Pritchard should probably take another month off to have another surgery or something. Like he should go back to Houston. It doesn't seem like it's a good thing. I was there when he came back.
Yeah.
And he was yeah. I was gonna say I was there when he came back, and Pritchard was not really aware of how to make television in 2019. Like he understood wrestling and he liked to tell stories and stuff. He wasn't like I was with him for a pre-tape. I forget who it was, what the talent was, but I was just like, I'll shadow you and I'll learn how to do this. And he just kind of like bullshitted with everybody and like waved the script in everyone's face and was like, cut, action. He didn't do anything. There was no work being done.
There was that report around
the tweet. Oh, my bad. You want to
wait? What?
Real quick.
Ronda Rousey. She made a tweet about Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard is basically Vince's avatar. If he's still around, Vince still has his hand in the business. Vince was still running things through Bruce when he was gone before.
So, do we think that could have the same effect now that it would have maybe then when like maybe a year ago when Vince was first coming back versus like now when like TKO is like taking ownership over the company and like the roles in WWE have kind of been, I don't know, as far as like I feel like the power has shifted a little bit.
No, the power has definitely shifted, especially when like WWE's been a publicly traded company for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now like a fully like selling, like you couldn't sell without me. And now you sold it to Ari Emanuel. Like I can't wait. Listen, Ari Emanuel is gonna Vince McMahon the same way he did to his dad. It's gonna be so hilarious. You're gonna be like, yeah, I ain't gonna do none of that shit. Listen, whatever you don't want me to do, my nigga, I ain't about to do that. And as soon as he goes away, he'll be like, listen, man, whatever he said we ain't gonna do, we're gonna do that shit. Listen, Paul, I need you to do the great stuff and then all that. Like, I can't wait. That's the only thing that's gonna happen. Business is business. Once you give up, like he gave it up. Like he was the one that didn't give up. Like he didn't. Like he did some job. He did a job to Donald Trump in 2007, but that's it. But you know what I mean? Like he gave it up when he made it a public. Like, listen, buy it. I need money.
I'm a cynical guy, and I think that everybody's always working everybody else, especially in wrestling. There's always a plan. Somebody's going to try to get over. In my opinion, and this is not any inside information because I don't have any of that, but I do have a gut instinct. And my gut instinct is Hunter and Nick Khan made sure this happened. They murked him. They knew he was vulnerable. They knew that he was advancing in age and not as sharp as he used to be. And they knew that he had shit in his closet. And they said, let's start getting it out there.
Succession.
Let's convince Vince McMahon to sell the company. So somehow, I'm not saying Hunter went to Vince and said sell the company because I don't think Vince would have listened to him, but I think somebody said to Vince, let's sell the company. That's how you get back in. Let's sell to TK. Let's sell to Endeavor. And by doing that, he unwittingly surrendered all of his power. I think this was a plan.
Well, hypothetically, maybe that person would be Nick Khan, because I feel like Nick Khan has like gone on record and said Triple H was the person that introduced him to the WWE family, that kind of brought him in and like by kind of like been like the proxy between like, you know, him and like Vince as far as like creative and like, you know, whatever they've been doing as far as like how the company is run and like transitioning over in this time or whatever. It kind of seems like Nick Khan has been playing chess a little bit with the moves that are being made.
He's the power broker.
Yeah.
He's Stringer Bell from The Wire.
Yeah, he's Stringer Bell. Like he's in the middle.
He's a fan. He knows The Rock really well. They have a good relationship. So he's got Dwayne's phone number, his influence, his power. And he's got Triple H and Stephanie, who obviously at some point were like, this motherfucker, our dad, our father-in-law has to go.
So what do you think happened with them voting him back into power though? Because at first, like they were saying like that Nick and Stephanie and Triple H had all voted against it, and then they had come back to the table, and then it was like a, I don't know, almost unanimous decision or whatever to put Vince back into power. Like what do you like? Maybe I don't know. Like what do you speculate that decision was about, and why they, I don't know, kind of 180'd on that?
When you realize, like, here's what's the dominoes that are gonna fall.
Effect. Yeah.
If you do this, like, I think that they had to get their ducks in a row. They had to figure out, like, how are we going to convince this man to sell the company, and who are they going to sell it to, and how do we ensure that what is in that deal is going to be beneficial to us, and that we have some way to like get him out, because you couldn't just keep him out forever. He had too much controlling interest in the company, too many votes on the board. The second that they sell and somebody else is in charge, then he's vulnerable to anything. He has a bunch of stock, but he doesn't have the power to influence the decision making in the company anymore.
And
so do you think that there's any
go ahead.
Do you think that there's any like coincidence with, you know, like his resignation and this news dropping and The Rock coming on the board of TKO and all of that? Like I feel like there might be something to that, but that's just me like spitballing and like throwing shit into the air. Like I feel like same like they had to have known something was coming, and I just feel like to kind of, I don't know, necessarily put a Band-Aid over that. I don't want to say that, but like kind of say like moving this piece and moving that piece to the background type of thing.
I don't think they knew this shit was going to come out. It was horrible timing. If they did know, they should have been like, wait a week.
Way more
so
prepared,
Royal Rumble, Hunter had no statement prepared at the press conference. The fact that they even did the press conference is insane. Like, what were you thinking there? Like, just don't do it, or do it and have a prepared statement saying something that a publicist has looked over, the lawyers looked over, that is going to be protect your ass, but also get yourself on the right side of history. And all he did was deflect, like Tony Khan would have. It was the most Tony Khan moment in Triple H's entire life.
Do you think maybe like Triple H should have just addressed it like off the top and just said, here's the thing. I know that
prepared statement,
and that's all I'm going to say on it.
Yep. What's that going to do?
I feel like that maybe would have softened the blow a little bit to him being asked the question, multiple times. I believe 3 times in a row consecutively, and deflecting each time.
You should have been like, "Yo, talk to that fired ass nigga." Like, listen,
he could have said that. It would have been better.
Great grandfather, he over there eating applesauce, watching TV. He's watching.
Would have been a lot better than saying nothing.
Because it got to a point where he was kind of getting irritated. Like, you can tell, like, when they were asking the next question, he's like, I can't even hear what you're saying. Somebody get him a microphone. I can't hear in here. Like, you could tell it was getting to him. Like, it like you said, it would have been better if you would have had something prepared, but I guess, you just wanted to go off the top. I guess he didn't expect everybody to ask that question, because like a lot of the WWE press conferences they have, let's be honest, they've been softball questions. Like, we're not asking real stuff. We're asking like stuff like within character, where we're asking like stuff like public stuff, like on the business side, like, oh, what about the Netflix deal? Things along that line. We're not like asking like things of this nature. So I don't really think he thought anybody had the balls to like say like, hey, what's going on, Vince?
Only thing you got to do is have Shawn Michaels answer all the questions. Be like, yo, Shawn, come on. Answer these questions for me real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you can throw your weight around.
Sean is good. He's good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I believe he spoke on it today, if I'm not mistaken, with the NXT media call going into Vengeance Day. We'll probably get into that a little bit later as far as our predictions for that show. He I think he was saying like it was just a disgusting thing, and that he's aware that there's a large influx of young ladies coming into NXT, maybe impressionable, and that they've got to have some barricades or some things in place to make sure that these women feel comfortable coming forward, if there's a situation or anything that makes them feel like things are not necessarily right or in the right place or whatever with the company or with an individual that may be making them feel away. And I think that's commendable or whatever, but like they gotta like really get some shit in order here, because this is like from the top is like, if this is what's happening at the top of the company, I can't imagine.
It's an abusive environment across the board. At least the closer you get to the actual wrestling product, the more abusive it becomes. Like, there are people that are still on the writing team today who go out of their way to make you miserable, to break you down, to crush your spirit. I went through it. That's why I didn't last, because I didn't know how to eat shit. I'm a loudmouth. I think, that's not going to work at WWE. You can't have a lot to say. You can't have opinions. You have to be quiet. My boss told me one day, I didn't talk for a year in the meetings.
Oh, wow.
I was like, okay, so you want me to not talk? My 2 skills are talking and writing, and I wasn't doing any of that shit because there's nothing to write. It's like, I'm going to find you at WrestleMania and I'm going to pile drive you. Like, it was all so generic, and I think the promos have gotten a lot better in the last year, 2 years since Hunter's been in charge. They're less formulaic. There's less of this need to like squeeze in promotion for the new WWE video game or the new toy or whatever. Like, it doesn't feel quite as unnatural. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Cody, Roman, LA Knight, all these guys are doing next level promo work. But when I was there, I was writing like the most generic promos for Kurt Angle that you could possibly imagine. So I wasn't doing any work, but like I was there collecting a paycheck and people were treating me like shit and making fun of me and icing me out of meetings, and it was horrible.
So what are you most proud of? If I could ask, like, what are you most proud of about what
all the
you
other stuff?
That's funny. What are you most proud of about like what you did or what you were able to get, on screen, or what you were able to get to, completion over there, as far as
God. What a question. I was very proud of my high score on the pinball machine on the second floor.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I ate that pinball machine for breakfast.
$, nigga. Yeah, I did that.
Every day after work was over, I would play the pinball machine. I'm trying to think if there was something that I got on that I thought was like good, or an idea that I had. Oh, okay. So the best thing that we did, in my opinion, was right before WrestleMania. There was we were trying to figure out the build to Kofi Mania and also to the tag team ladder match. I think it ended up not even being a ladder match, but like the multi-team tag team title match. And there was another gauntlet. There was like a gauntlet every week for Kofi.
Yeah.
How are we gonna fill 2 hours? Well, what if we have Kofi wrestle for an hour? Fuck
it. You can do it.
And I think I hate when ex-WWE writers take credit for something that was not their idea and that it was a group thing. So I'm not going to say that I came up with this, but I was definitely on the side of doing this, whoever's idea it was. But it was decided that the Usos would forfeit the tag team gauntlet match because it was a tag team thing. And the Usos would get over as big time baby faces for refusing to wrestle. And then they were punished by Alexa Bliss, who was the host of WrestleMania that year for some ungodly reason. I guess they needed something for her to do. So they punished them by putting them in this big time multi-team match. And I thought that was a really great opportunity for the Usos to do something heroic, right? Like wrestling storylines are not always about people doing the right thing. It's usually about someone doing the wrong thing, and then the other guy, the babyface, getting revenge. And I said, like, or whoever it was, I certainly agreed with this, that what you should do is have them do something truly like selfless. Everybody loves Kofi. Everybody wants to see Kofi succeed. If we want the Usos to be bigger baby faces, they need to do something for Kofi. Because having them wrestle in that gauntlet made no sense, but we didn't have enough tag teams to do the gauntlet. Yeah. So they had to be in it because of the brand split.
It wouldn't have accomplished anything really,
No.
And this was like a far greater thing, like you said, as far as like endearing them more to the audience and basically like expounding and evolving their characters as well, right?
Making them the greatest faction to ever live. Because what other two people is going to do that for the person who you don't even know is the leader? You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that he gets his shine. Like that made them the great. Listen, I ain't never seen Tully and Arn do none of that shit for Rick. You know what I mean?
It's like it's remembered way more than it would have done if they would have actually wrestled in that match, and they would have like shook their hand and be like, "Yeah, go on and do it." Like people widely, something like that. People widely remember them just being like, "We're not gonna wrestle," and it hit so hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a moment, but it was not a moment that was a traditional wrestling moment. It was a storytelling moment, and that's the thing that's frustrating, or has been, about WWE storytelling, is that it's just like it's been cookie cutter for a long time, and you're not thinking about the high level. And that's the worst part about AEW storytelling, is that they don't even come close to even WWE storytelling in terms of sophistication or motivation or anything like that. Consistent character work is like cancer to Tony Khan.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because like we were talking earlier about the AEW rankings coming back, and them trying to add legitimacy to the storytelling and their performers and competitors that way. What are your thoughts on current AEW and how Tony Khan like puts his product out there? I just kind of want to get your thoughts on this company and where they're at this moment.
I had to tap out of Dynamite last night. It was that bad. I watched the first hour.
Mm-hmm.
I got through the Hangman match, and it was just match. It was so like overfilled with wrestling. And I know there are a lot of fans out there who will be like, well, it's called wrestling. All elite wrestling. There should be wrestling. It's like, yeah, sure. But if you just keep doing matches, you lose any sort of interest in watching matches. It's just another match and another match. That's how I feel every time I go to PWG or any indie show. It's just another match. Give me a promo. Give me something. Like, mix it up. You see the same spots over and over again. There was like every match that night had a dive last night. That's one thing. Is just boring. And there's nobody's really hot. There's no character. Maybe Swerve is the guy who's the hottest right now in AEW in terms of like momentum, character work. He gets a big pop when he comes out. People love him because he's cool, right? But that's all Swerve is. He's just a cool guy. Why does Swerve want to do the things that he does? Let's talk about Hangman and Swerve for a second, because that is now like the overarching storyline of AEW. Is Swerve and Hangman hate each other? Why do Swerve and Hangman?
Right?
Why do they hate each other? How did this start? Let's go back to that. The way it started was Swerve said, "I want your spot. I want to be a top guy because you dropped the ball. You fucked up. Your championship reign was mid, and I am going to take your spot because you don't care about being here. You don't want to be here. You're miserable." Yeah. Well, they went way past that to fuckers drinking blood. Motherfuckers are drinking blood in this story that was about competition. Swerve goes to the motherfucker's house and threatens to kill his baby because he wants his spot in wrestling. How the fuck does that make any sense?
I'm standing over your kid, cuz. Look, listen, like, hey, yo, you know your daddy a bitch, right? I don't know if you know. He's probably gonna cut his facial hair to a mustache after I beat his ass, right? Like, I'm not gonna tell you that, but
I don't have a problem with that part of the story, right? Because I feel like his character is supposed to be like somebody that feels like they're this like this mob boss, and you know, like they've got to like threaten people by pulling up to their houses and doing disgusting and vile things to them. Like we saw what he did to Nick Wayne when they went to his house or whatever, and they beat him bloodied or whatever in his father's training facility or whatever, right? Where the disconnect of this story kind of like happens for me is Swerve beats him twice, literally hangs him from the turnbuckle, and at that point, if you've defeated him twice, what more do you have to prove? And what I said at that time was, I don't know if I want this story to continue, because if it does, then at some point, Hangman as the babyface has to give Swerve his comeuppance. And if Swerve wins this twice in a row, and he's supposed to be the one that you're crowning as the first possible AEW black AEW world champion, for him to beat Hangman twice, and then for Hangman to come back and beat him one time and then get a title shot, what the fuck was all of that for?
It doesn't make any sense, but let's go back to the beginning. It was about the spot. Swerve beats him twice. Let's forget about the baby stuff, even though I feel like ultimately it was not necessary because it wasn't earned. Because it wasn't a blood feud until the actual blood came out. Like, there wasn't that much heat between them. They used the threatening the murder of the baby as just like, it's another Wednesday night on Dynamite, whatever. Let's talk about the fact that Swerve got everything he wanted. Like you said, he got everything he wanted. He's got the man spot. He made him his bitch. Hangman is relegated to the mid card. He had to grow a mustache and start wearing leather jackets to seem cool.
Yeah,
I love Hangman as a character, but like they have ruined him by making him look like a schmuck all the time. Swerve has everything he wants, and now he's going to wrestle him again. And why are they wrestling again? Because the ranking says they have to. This is the problem with the ranking. White privilege too. Yeah. Why do these rankings exist if they're going to then wrestle to decide the champion, the number one contender? As far as I am concerned, and what I can tell, Swerve is the number one contender because he is ranked number one. Why is he ranked number one? Because Tony made it up. In his mind, in Tony Khan's mind, this is real. He acts like it's real, like the rankings matter. It's a work. He's making it up. Anyone could be the number one contender. Just do that. Stop with this shit. Look at this motherfucker.
Look at him. Like, first off,
he would come into my DMs and talk to me. And I will say this on mic because I feel like I'm in safe company. He came to me when the Swole thing happened. And he said, people respect you. I need you to please support me on Twitter about the Swole thing. And he went on and on and on about how he's a hero and a person of color himself, and he would never be racist and all that stuff. I don't think he's racist. I just think the motherfucker doesn't have a clue how to like interact with human beings. I was like, I will happily say whatever. I'm not going to jerk you off in public, but I'm not going to be mean about it. But I regret that because he tried to clown me at a press conference, mentioning that I worked at WWE and that I didn't deserve to be talking about what I was talking about. He is petulant in public. He's rude to people. And he's a bad booker. The show is unwatchable for me. I'm sorry. He's not a person that I want to interact with.
The devil is Shane McMahon. Like, he's a Shane McMahon devil. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Shane McMahon knew more about wrestling than Tony Khan.
Because he grew up in it. Not like somebody who was like, listen, like, we're not gonna act like this wasn't like AEW wasn't a Christmas present. Because you know what I mean?
Shane McMahon.
There you go.
That's Shane McMahon.
Don't let him go on this tangent.
Shane McMahon knew what he wanted, which is to go over everybody. I'm gonna beat the Miz at WrestleMania. Sorry, I gotta do it. Tony Khan doesn't know what he wants other than to like have matches to watch.
Yeah, but Shane McMahon, Tony Khan didn't put the ring together. Tony Khan didn't play a referee at some time. He didn't sell merchandise in the stores. Like
Shane McMahon did every job.
Every job that you could do. He's the American dream.
Well, Tony Khan says
I don't know. Hold on.
Pause.
I want to.
Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, so I want to take it back. I want to take it back to the Swole thing. Do you think like so he came into your DMs and he told you like, hey, can you kind of soften the blow?
Yeah.
Do you think he personally? Do you think he personally went around to all the talent that kind of went like 10 toes down and was like, hey, can like that were like Tony Khan would never say something like this because there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them who came and who were coming to, his side and being like, I don't have any problems with AEW. You think that was something that they felt like, okay, I need to stand up? Or do you think he went around personally and asked him like, hey, can you kind of go to bat for me?
Bro, if he came to me, he came to like wrestlers, like real, like important people in wrestling. He didn't just come to me. That was clearly a campaign. Clearly, I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense for him to come into my DMs and try to get me to support him because there are other people who would do it for him. More important people, bigger voices. Could have had anybody do it. He came to me. So that means he probably went to like 12 other people. People who work there now.
Nah, I'm gonna
hit you after the show. Like that can, that can vouch for or soften the blow, like you said. Right?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Nah, I got to hit you after the show because there's some questions I want to ask off air. But
I mean, I've already opened the fucking Pandora's box. It is what it is. I'm sure he listens to this too. Yeah, I'll give you an answer or I won't. But we'll see.
Ask it, man. Ask it. What's up?
I kind of think we have the scarlet letter over there after we did the whole Big Swole interview because we were her first interview after like all of that happened and like everything went down. So I kind of feel like that's what I kind of feel like that we have the scarlet letter whenever like it comes to like doing stuff.
I don't think he forgets anything. I don't think he's the guy who forgives people or forgets that person wronged him. I think he's got an enemies list. I think he's like he hates, right? I think he is a hateful person to people who do not like what he does. And I say that because you see how he acts with trolls on Twitter, critics of his programming, and wrestlers who don't fall in line with what he wants. And there's a difference between Tony Khan and Vince McMahon. One, Tony Khan is not a rapist as far as I know. I'm sure he isn't. I don't think he's capable of shit like that. I don't think he's an evil person. But I do think that the real big difference besides that is that Vince McMahon knows how to manipulate people. Vince McMahon knows how to get what he wants from somebody who doesn't want to give Vince what he wants. Tony Khan sees somebody who doesn't want to give Tony Khan what he wants, and he's like, I'm just going to ether this motherfucker because he's a message board guy. He was probably on the same message boards I was on when I was first watching wrestling in my teens. And he probably was throwing bombs at people and saying fucked up shit and insulting people because that felt good to him. It made him feel powerful. Vince McMahon belittled people, tore people down, fucked with their heads, but he was able to also build them up. Like he knew how to manipulate and take advantage of people. Tony Khan doesn't have any of that, to my knowledge.
Both of them
two different types of billionaire.
Yeah, they're both spoiled brats.
Two different types of billionaire. One of them, you didn't have your daddy in your life for a portion of time. The other one, your daddy was there the whole time, and he gave you everything that you ever wanted. And look how you act. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get what you want.
Yep.
The other one.
Me and Grant talked about how Tony was talking to some of them Jacksonville Jaguars players, and we were like, "Yo, who the fuck do you think you talking to?" And we were like, "Yo, who? Like, listen, like, yo, where's your dad at?" You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you ain't nothing but the receptionist of the family.
If you're gonna come to me and ask me for something, or you're gonna want my approval, whatever, respect me. In every interaction with Tony Khan that I've ever had, it was disrespectful. It would be mountains of fucking DMs about whatever. You know, I criticized the show once, and he just came at me like, actually, here's why Hangman didn't succeed as a champion, and here's this, and this.
with an actually, here's why.
He would actually me over and over again about, and then I would just like punt. I would just be like, "You're right, man. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to be so fucked up to you or like hurt your feelings or whatever." But I realized that was disrespect. That he couldn't hear what I was saying. He needed to have me hear what he was saying. And there's no creative relationship. There's no business relationship where you act like that, where you just steamroll people, where you don't listen to what they have to say. I've had to work really hard for everything that I have in my career. And I have to eat a lot of shit, and I have to listen to people, and I have to collaborate, and I have to be, a partner in creative situations. Tony Khan doesn't have to do that.
So that's somebody that you've like never like actually worked with, right? But
Tony,
like, had interactions with just based on the nature of the business, right? But
I've talked to Tony Khan more than I ever talked to Vince, but I worked for Vince.
So what were your like personal interactions like with Vince, if any?
Oh, thank God I never had to talk to him directly. Like there are obviously like at WWE layers of like access to Vince. My first day, I was told not to be in the production meeting on camera because Vince would be confused why I was there.
They record these production meetings?
It's a live stream between Stamford and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I got you.
I was at Stamford, right? And they were in Uncasville or whatever, like some town, for SmackDown.
Gotcha.
And it was like, no, man, we checked. You can't be on camera. And I'm like, is that because of my race? Is that because I look too much like Kaz? And he'll think that Kaz is back? Like, why am I not allowed to be on
does he camera? Know that I don't? Does he not know that I work here now, or like?
What, will he be mad that he wasn't filled in? Like, what's going on?
Whoa! Whoa!
Who is this nigger? I don't understand. I didn't understand it, but it was my first window into like, oh, this is weird. Doesn't he know? And then I think I've told the story before on other podcasts, but like in the conference room after the HR presentation, it was just me and the HR person, black woman. She's like, now that we're alone, I just want you to know that if things go wrong, you have problems, please let me know first. It's hard here for people like us. And I'm like, oh, why? Why? Vince says things in the meeting that she didn't say that, but like I came to figure out that like when you're in his office, maybe he'll say some stuff that he shouldn't say. Words he shouldn't say. That kind of thing.
Damn, but his hero is Martin Luther King, man.
I'm not saying Vince McMahon's racist. I'm just saying he's an old guy. I think maybe he was getting senile. Like those text messages he was sending to that woman.
He thought you was Flash Funk, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen somebody
do that thing.
Like Vince McMahon loved Flash Funk more than he loved every one of his kids. Come out, he'd be like, yeah.
Vince, I don't think Vince is a racist. I think that Vince probably really loves black people in a way that is racist without realizing you're being racist. He's, dance for me, dance. Oh yeah, everybody's your Booker T. You're so funny. I'm like, all right, what are we talking about? Step and fetch it here for a second. Like, I don't know, but I don't think he was a racist.
Think he loves black people kind of like in the same way that like Elvis liked black people. Like, I'm just gonna cherry pick the things that I like.
I would have voted for Obama 3 times if I did that.
God, I got Nick Saban. You know what I mean? Like, who was the other one at Clemson? You know what I'm saying? Dabo. Like, yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Nah. He loves Young Jeezy, and that's it.
Yeah. That's say the N-word on national television. He sure did.
That's probably what it would have been like on the stream.
With the A, though.
Yeah, it would have been like, who is this nigga? Or what's up, my nigga? Like, it would have been like, you know?
Oh, you got another one.
What side of the coin, you know?
Chocolate. Oh, I love chocolate.
Did Brooks' boyfriend get Trapper of the Year 4 times in a row? I bet you he didn't. No, he didn't.
Come on.
Like, Jeezy.
Let's get you in here with Byron.
We probably could have been. I could have been, if I stayed around longer, I might have been on camera as his brother or something.
Oh,
they look so much alike and they sound alike too.
God,
can you do a front flip? No,
Byron and Dave Saxton. you know they would have had to give you a work name. Yeah, David Saxton. They would have had to give you a work name. Yeah,
I was on an episode of Raw once before I left.
Wait, what did you do?
I was in the background.
You know, background stuff. Like,
yeah,
of course, there's always some weird stuff with catering or something like that, where it's like
anybody in a suit who's just hanging out. It's probably a writer or writer's assistant. But Sami Zayn comes back the night after WrestleMania, and he's got to do a shot through the loading dock, and they needed 2 people to wave at him. It can't be empty. It can't just be like he's going to work. It's got to be like people are there. I really love what they're doing now with the opening of Raw, where like you'll see like Bianca. Well, this is Royal Rumble. Bianca and Tez coming, and it's sort of like the tunnel at a like an NBA game. Like you want to see what they're wearing and stuff. Like it's like it's like in a TNT NBA broadcast. But before, when it was KD and Vince McMahon and all that stuff, it was like we need extras, something to be like hanging by some boxes. So I just like point at Sami Zayn and I wave at him, and he points and he waves back. So that was my moment to be on Raw.
That's exciting.
Bro, you can imagine you just be like, you over there eating, you be like, hey, like what?
Yeah, they should have had me do a fucking pratfall or something. Oh, my bad. Who is that nigger on the screen?
Like, yeah, we about to get Johnny Tapia.
I mean, I love Sam. Sammy's awesome. He's great.
Yeah, he's the truth.
No, Sammy's good. Sammy's good. So what's going on here with WrestleMania? Like as like, and we'll kind of use this to close out our conversation here, I guess. But as we were talking when you first came in, we were talking about like Seth Rollins' injury and you know what that looks like for WrestleMania, like who he might face. Like are you like tapped in like week to week or like what's your like I don't know what you're watching like you know preferences or like how like to tapped in you are. But like, do you have any thoughts on like how this WrestleMania shakes out now with like Seth Rollins being injured currently, but being able to make the show, and like CM Punk being injured, not being able to make the show, and how that kind of changes the landscape?
I'm very tapped in. You know, wrestling is one of those things where even if like it's not good, you still watch and you still interact. You, like, even if it's just like I watch the clips on YouTube, or I watch like an hour of it and I turn it off, like I did with Dynamite. Like, you just don't give up. And the darkest period of my wrestling fandom was after getting fired. I was like, I'm never watching again. And then, of course, now I'm back. So WrestleMania this year, they have so much talent. The company right now has never had this level of talent that's not just really good, but like hot and selling merchandise and getting huge reactions when they go in the arena. Never. Jey Uso could be main eventing WrestleMania, but he's probably going to be like the opening match, if that. Like, probably him and Jimmy will be in the middle of the card somewhere. That's how good it is. So even though Punk is hurt, probably won't be back till Survivor Series next year. They have so much going on. I don't think Rock is going to be working WrestleMania. I think that Vince McMahon raping people, I think, maybe put a dark cloud over WrestleMania this year. And the biggest movie star on the planet's gonna just be like, you know what? I'll catch you guys next year. 41. I'll be there. Me and Roman, 41. He's just gonna keep punting, moving that ball down the goalpost or down the field. I think it's gonna be Seth and Drew. I know there are people who maybe don't like Drew in that spot. They want it to be Gunther. I don't like the idea of Gunther being Intercontinental Champion and competing for another belt. Unless you're gonna merge the belts, which I wouldn't do. I don't think so. No way. I think Seth and Drew makes a lot of sense, especially after Drew cut that great promo on Monday. That whole segment was fantastic. Great. I want to see Punk and Drew when he comes back. So I would have Drew crush Seth. I would have him just finally like, okay, now that I've turned heel, I'm just going to destroy you, because he's not holding back anymore. And the more that he is a heel, the stronger he becomes. So I would go there. Cody and Roman, obviously, main event, night 2. Cody's got to go over. You can't keep doing this. Yeah. As soon as he won the Royal Rumble, I'm like, what are you going to do? Have him lose again?
Yeah, you can't do that.
No. And Roman doesn't have anybody else to work with. He has beaten everyone. In some cases twice.
Yeah, he's got to go away for a while after this and kind of come back with another angle, or like they got to like freshen up his character a little bit, I feel like.
What I wanted to do, and I pitched this to Chris during the Royal Rumble, I was like, if it's going to be Rock and Roman, you do the double turn. You have Roman get turned on by Solo and Jimmy and Heyman. Maybe not Heyman, because Heyman and Brian Gewirtz don't get along, but certainly Solo and Jimmy. Yeah, there's a story. It might even be in Brian's book about them getting into a fight. But have Rock turn heel. Have Jimmy and Solo say, we've been working with this dude since he came back. Yeah. He's the real head of the table. That's where we're going to get the real money. We're going to get the Hollywood money. And Roman, you're not the head of the table. You're not the tribal chief. Dwayne is a tribal chief. And then he has a whole summer run as the Brock Lesnar part-time champion until SummerSlam at MSG. Him and Cody, because Cody won the briefcase.
Oh, you think
Rock does the job for Cody. Bro. It's bigger. It's honestly bigger if Cody beats The Rock. A heel Rock. Rock was always better as a heel. He's the biggest star on the planet. Have him lose to Cody. We know Rock respects the hell out of Cody Rhodes. I feel like he would happily do a job if it was the right story.
Yeah. But I feel like
I think you have to move the title, you know what I'm saying? Because like since we're getting $28 billion from Netflix, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna put that title on the Netflix side, and then we'll have.
There's a draft coming. Don't worry. There's always a draft.
There's always a draft. Like you can have a draft whenever. I used to do fantasy draft on Madden when I used to get out of school. So like a draft could be whatever if you want to do it.
They already put Pat McAfee on Raw.
Yeah, he was on Raw this past Monday. Like, I wonder, like, what that relationship is going to be like going forward. Like, I don't know if he has time, like, weekly to make the sounds like that.
When college football starts, now I'll be gone, big dog.
Yeah. We'll find out in August.
Together.
Yeah,
we'll find out in August if he's going to stick around or not.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point. Huh. Well, you guys got anything else for Dave here? I feel I had a question, but I forgot.
I got a question.
Like we were just kind of going.
You want me to say something else mean about Tony Khan?
No, we gotta talk about him. Like, I think he's already mad at us enough. Like I want to say about like Drew McIntyre. Like, is Drew McIntyre because he literally was like he looked somebody in their face was like, "Yo, I prayed that you got hurt."
That was so good. That was the best. That was the best heel line of all time. He was like that meme of that guy, in like who's that black dude in the meme where he's just like posing with his sunglasses on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was,
you know what I mean.
Like, at my hater's funeral, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, he's a hater at the funeral. It was so good.
You guys are talking about the picture of Fendi, like at his haters funeral.
Is that what that is?
It's like
I don't know where it came from.
I think it's Fendi, like Nicki Minaj's ex-manager or whatever. Like
he was there with
Blade. He was at somebody.
He had Blade sunglasses on. Like
somebody put Drew McIntyre's face on that.
They got that's fire.
It was such a fucking devastating line, and that's the stuff that makes wrestling fun. Is when like the heels can be really evil, man.
And then it's also like because like I'm bigger than you. Oh, and then like listen, like even if you were healthy, I would beat your ass anyway, big dog. Like so, like listen, I'm glad that you're hurt. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, that's a heel, man. That is what's missing is like that sadisticness, that sociopathic behavior, and that pleasure that they take in being evil. Roman isn't evil necessarily. Roman is cruel and he's a gaslighter as a character. He's not evil.
Yeah, I feel like they got to get back to like some of like the layers that like Roman had as a character at the beginning in the early stages of this tribal chief character. Like when like he was like Ben, you had posted the clip the other day of like the Hell in a Cell thing where he was like crying and like
his best match.
Like, and he was just like going through it and like he flips the switch and like
I was sucked into that, man. I was sucked into that match. Because I'd been out for a while. Because that was like, 2020 after I'd gotten fired. And I was like, I'm not watching this shit anymore. And then everybody was like, you got to watch. Roman's doing the best work of his career. And then that match happened. And he just does this like fucking crazy switch from like being like truly broken up about what he had to do to so self-satisfied and evil. And that's, we've lost it all. Roman's now just like coasting.
He's more like one-dimensional now. Like he doesn't have like it's just I'm the tribal chief and
it's over.
One-dimensional.
Like,
is it like?
Oh God, I don't want to say
like
that.
This.
I don't want to.
Yeah, no. Roman's got his fucking gimmick.
Is it like this?
Is it like this?
It might be like.
Is it like that?
Is it like this?
5 moves of death now?
Yo,
listen,
Stone Cold. Listen, Stone Cold. Stone Cold was big meat.
Yeah, the one putting the ones up is like because the same thing is like he has the character down. He was looking for it, he found it, and now he's just using that to coast.
Yeah,
it's too bad, but I think he's due for a babyface turn, and that's why I would have flipped him at WrestleMania. It would have been fucking legendary to see that.
That would have been fire. Yeah, but
eventually Gretzky was like, listen, man, I'm gonna get 3 goals a game anyway, so like, I mean, whatever. You know what I mean?
He's cashing checks all day, selling merchandise like crazy. The houses have never been better since the 90s. Like,
also predicting the Super Bowl.
Is he Pat Mahomes?
I don't know, man.
Pat Mahomes?
This guy's good. He's good. I don't know. They
loved him so much they gave him the script to the Super Bowl.
Yo, he's a Niners fan. Listen, like if I see Roman in a Purdy jersey,
you think he'll go to Super Bowl? You think Roman's got to get in the box?
He ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't going to Perth.
He's not wrestling.
Me or my cousin. Hey, well, listen, neither one of us is going to Perth, my nigga. We're going to Vegas because it's closer. So, like, whatever's going on, I'm going over there. I might be there for the Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I might put the belt on. Trayvon Diggs or whatever.
That is hilarious. Like like introduce like a Netflix title or something like that, and like put that on R-Truth.
Yeah, they should. WWE should sponsor the Pro Bowl games next year and give a belt out.
Have a black person talking about it. That's what they always do. It was like, yo, Kofi, can you go talk about something?
Where is Titus O'Neil?
He must be SmackDown host in about 6 months.
Poor Big E is just like, go out and make an appearance and wave. I hope he comes back to wrestle.
If they don't have a Super Bowl commercial next year with bringing Raw to Netflix, just weeks prior, like I feel like they gotta. I feel like they gotta like make a real big leap and a jump and a splash into like this promotional effort for this transition to taking Raw, their flagship show, off of television and putting it on exclusive streaming. Like that's a big move.
They got the money to spend on that ad. They are making more money than they ever have in the history of WWE.
They put Tua in a Paramount commercial, so like you could definitely put Bianca and fucking Montez in a Netflix commercial coming up soon, 2025, especially for like Black Friday. Like what?
Well, Dave, it's been great talking to you here this evening. Yeah. Like, honestly, the can of worms that we opened up with the conversation that we had was far more greater than I expected. Like,
you caught me on the right day where I just honestly, taking no prisoners, no fucks given. It's all out there.
I like that. We got to do this again. We definitely got to do this again. I thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Anything that you got going on that you want to like announce or that you want the people to know about, like, where to catch you or where to see you next or where to
see you still work at WWE, let me know what the high score is on the pinball machine. Yeah. And you can follow me on Threads at DW Schilling. You follow me on X or Twitter at Dave_Schilling. You see what I do next.
Love it. Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining us once again. We got to do it again. I'll be in contact, definitely, 100%, man. Peace out, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Right. Hey, bro, you have a good one, bro. Be smooth.
You're not beating my score, my nigga. What are you talking about?
He said, yo, what's the pinball score, man? Let me know, man. I was doing my thing over there. Ding, 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 ding. Let's get at it, man. That's fire, man. I really enjoyed that conversation with Dave. I hope you guys did as well. With his journey as a WWE writer, his thoughts and experiences on the company, and of course, the allegations with Vince McMahon and where things might go with that, and Tony Khan as well, and the state of AEW. Hopefully we can definitely have that conversation again, expound on some workings that as far as his own personal dealings in the WWE, and maybe that'll be an entertaining conversation for you guys just to bring him back maybe down the line here. Guys, want to do predictions before we get up out of here? I know this is an extended episode, but we wanted to give you guys something special here.
I gotta nix my rant, bro.
No, we.
Oh my god!
Listen, do you really have to nix your rant? I got your rant here. You feel me? If you wanted to get it off, you feel me? Like, what you talking about? What you talking about? You feel me? Like, I mean, we could talk. We could talk. I mean, if the people want to leave, people can leave. But I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get this off, we could get this off.
Okay, all right. I'll do it real quick before we go on to predictions. Hey, I feel like I'm due, for a turnaround, for something good to happen to me, because these last 3 months, I feel like I have enough disappointment to last me for the full calendar year. Because, like, what's
going on, Ben? What happened?
If you're listening, if you listen to this show, about my Eagles. You know about my Eagles. They're 10-1, then they drove off a cliff. After the Lakers, after they won the in-season tournament, they ain't been doing shit. LeBron about to leave. And you know what? After I made peace about my Eagles not playing and not getting to the the Super Bowl and everything like that, I put all my hopes and my dreams on Lamar Jackson's shoulders. Before I did that, I put all my hopes and my dreams on CM Punk's shoulders, and he couldn't hold them evidently because his tricep went out, and it's gonna be 4 to 6 months that he's gonna be out, and then as if I wasn't disappointed enough the following day when I was watching the NFC and the AFC Championship, both teams that I put my hopes in. After the Ravens lost, I said, you know what? Detroit gonna come through. Detroit gonna do it for me, because here's the thing. I hate the 49ers with everything in my heart and soul. I hate Deebo Samuels. I hate the way he catches a football. I hate the way he talks. I hate the stupid skull cap that he wears when he's on the sidelines. I hate the way he daps up George Kittle. I hate all that. And the Lions, they let me down. So fast forward, there's some rumblings. CM Punk might be injured. I tried to hold out hope. I said he might be selling. Maybe he gets up out of the wheelchair like Kevin Nash. God didn't intend for that. So now we're looking at 4 to 6 months without CM Punk, and my heart is broken. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And fuck Deebo Samuels.
Oh, boo. CM Punk and King Von. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into predictions before we get out of here, y'all. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Please, make sure you stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay dangerous at the Enemies P3 on all social media platforms. We right there. What time is it, Jizzle?
Yo. Brrr, scared of the 6. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know what time it is? You know what I'm saying? It's board time. Board time. I'm gonna write all my answers like this too. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
Oh my
God. That's how winners do, you know what I'm saying?
Right, like Tommy Pickles.
Lying on your board time. Lying on your board time. Lying on your board time. For Vengeance Day. Lying on your board time.
Goodness gracious, man. Vengeance Day predictions this upcoming weekend. I believe it is Saturday, February the 4th, and somewhere in Tennessee. I can't remember exactly, but they out there and they finna do their thing. This is WWE Vengeance Day 2024. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Board games, as Jizzle said. Who's on the card, man? Let's look at it, man. The finals of the Dusty Cup Classic, the number one contendership for the tag team titles, and of course the trophy. You got the what is it? The War Dogs? Is that what they're going by, man? Braun Breaker and Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin against Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Who you guys got here?
I mean, Trick's doing double duty tonight, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me go ahead and go with the the Breaker Force. Call it Breaker Dreams. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what their new name is? Like, I thought of a new name for them. End of Math.
End of Math? Oh, I get what you're doing.
End of Days.
And then like Steiner Math. End of Math.
Yo, I got Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams by pin. And the reason why I say Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams by pin is because he got to win something, because he's not taking that belt up off of Elliott. Like he got to come away with something. I'm leaving with something.
Out of your mind. That's why I can't wait. Spear of Days. That's what I'm writing on my thing right now.
I feel like
End of Math by Spear of Days.
I feel like it has to be Braun and Corbin, because I'll get to it later.
Black History Month, and we don't honor that.
I'm going with Braun and Corbin to take this one.
In the Math by pin.
By pin as well. By pin as well. I'm with you, Chisel. By pin as well. There we go. And I know. He definitely got to win something, but I don't think he's going to win anything tonight.
But you know how WWE is. You know what I'm saying? Like, either you go win all the way as a nigga, or you go lose all the way as a nigga.
Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. Braun Breaker trying to be black.
I just want to say as we're on the Trick Williams the conversation, it apparently is being reported by House of Wrestling that they see Trick as like a big star. Like after he came out at on SmackDown to save Carmelo Hayes, and they noticed that the response that he got, they were like, "Yo, he's going to be a big deal."
Right?
Yeah, they were surprised, and I'm like, I don't know why anybody's surprised, because if you watched his build up from the moment that he got the mic, you kind of see like, okay, he can kind of like, he has it right there on the mic, and he has it with the presence. But you're right, like you do need to see some development over time before you can just kind of say like, this is the next guy. And so I think like him like going out there and like having the crowd respond to him was a excellent start to what should be a main event career.
I think part of the surprise is like likely because, you know, like NXT, it's that studio where it's literally the same 200 some odd people a week, and, you know, they're in a completely different environment, main roster, TV crowd. You know, sometimes there's that disconnect between the main roster and NXT, and it's like that ovation that he got was like, oh snap, this, like, some of these people are really like connected, you know what I mean, to what Trick Williams is doing or what NXT is doing, and that's fire.
No, like niggas niggas been like, listen, like everybody likes black people, dog. Listen, welcome to Black History Month. Like, listen, we've been popular. Like you can't be surprised like that, because Carmelo, when he came out and did his stuff with Grayson and then like A-Town Down, like they were excited to see, like they knew about Carmelo and they know about Trick too. Like niggas have been selling wrestling since Special Delivery Jones. All right.
Okay. Yeah,
like,
big action.
Like they've been like, well, we've been selling. Like, listen, like we've been the backbone of America, of everything America, sports America, wrestling America, building America, like
all of that.
Yeah, they're gonna like the dude that's cool, effortlessly.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. Next match, more black people. OTM and Jada Parker are facing off against the family, Tony Stacks, and what's her name? Adrian or Ariana? I think it's Ariana. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
What's the name of the
JY?
What's the name of the nigga in the middle? What's the name of the nigga up top in the middle?
Man, you tell me, bro.
Why his eyes popping like that, bro? I know it's OTM.
I thought that was Miles Bridges, nigga.
Lucian Price and Bronco Nima. So it's Lucian Price. That's the guy. Bronco Nima is the guy. I don't know. They both got braids, bro. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do this, bro.
Right now.
I don't know, bro. I don't. I don't.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying I don't watch NXT to know. I don't watch NXT to know.
I know Reggie be with him.
That's all I'm saying. So who's gonna win this match, OTM or the family? Somebody in the chat, of course, that's far more educated than I am on NXT can let us know, or these guys know, because
the ones with the belt gonna win. That's why I pick. You know what I'm saying?
What you gonna
family?
What you got? Pinfall, or you got what you gonna submission, or
listen. I'm about to write nefarious on here again. Nefarious means
I got Kirk Franklin and the family.
Do you need a revolution? Whoop whoop. I think they're gonna. I think because the family, like they're the, like they got the belts and they're the baby faces of this encounter. So I think they're gonna win by pinfall, and it's gonna be like a great like oh my god, it'll probably be the first match of the night. Okay. But I got them winning. The one with the belt is gonna win.
I have no idea on this one, so I'm gonna go with a defensive pick, and I'm gonna say the family by pinfall.
Hey, you're the champion. You can do whatever you want. Listen,
no, that's sheerly a defensive pick. So if you guys get it right, I get it right. If you guys get it wrong, I get it wrong too. So there we go. I'm willing to take that.
I want to have a point for nefariously stuff.
All right, cool. Moving forward, I think this is a no disqualification match. Joe Gacy versus Dijak. I'm gonna go with Dijak because I don't know what the hell they're doing with Joe Gacy. Also by pinfall, right there. Dijak. You guys see that? Dijak.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going next. I got Joe Gacy. I got Joe gotta win, right? With a question mark. You know what I'm saying? Because like if he doesn't win, what are you doing with Joe Gacy? Like he ain't got no gang no more. Like the most important person of his squad is the GM now, and
like Jesus.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like she
got herself a Nissan Altima. She taking what was the name of it? She taking the nursing classes. She turned her life around.
Yeah. She's definitely the GM of one of them XFL teams. You know what I'm saying? Like the Houston Roughnecks or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she's the GM over there. So like you ain't got no group no more. So like Joe Gacy got to do something unless you're just gonna send him into the abyss.
I'm gonna have to go with Dijak. Dijak, it's time for Dijak to get a win. He's been having great matches, great showings. It's time for him to get a match. And Joe Gacy is the one for him to, cut ass on. Like
this nigga Dijak got them Wild Wild West sunglasses from Burger King, and then you want him to win. All right, but it's cool. All right, next match, you good.
Next match is for the NXT Women's Championship. It is Lyra Valkyria defending against Roxanne Perez.
Kind of in a dilly of a pickle right here. I want to put on my wrestling brain and my fan brain because, picking my fan brain. Roxy Gang.
There you go. All right, I was finna.
Roxy Gang by Code Pyru, because it's Code Red, right? Code Pyru pinfall. You know what I'm saying? Like she was supposed to be the champion anyway, but she got the little. I'm saying she got hurt a little bit, and like Lyra can do whatever she wants. I think this leads into again like another championship, little mid card championship for the ladies of NXT. But listen, Roxy is the future, and she is the one, and she wins.
I think it's Lyra. I think the belt stays on Lyra. I think that's the storyline they're gonna lead into WrestleMania weekend with her fighting like her stalker.
Okay.
Homegirl Tatum Paxley around. Tatum Paxley, yeah. I think that's the storyline that you go into WrestleMania weekend with. I don't know. I just feel like popping up. I feel like Roxanne Perez, because it could go the other way. It could, because she scorned her and was like, bro, don't call me, don't text me, don't be around me, nothing like that. It could be, she turns around and it's like, you know what, you didn't want me around. Now I'm just gonna beat your ass because you embarrassed me. There could be that sort of thing. It could be, she's like, you know what, damn all that. You're still my hero. I still want to be like you. I'm not going to listen to you, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to help you beat Roxanne Perez. So it could go either way, but I'm sticking with Lyra.
Didn't Tatum just fucking bully Tiffany?
Completely personal pick here because I don't like Lyra as a champion. I'm going with Roxanne Perez. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. She kind of turned me off to the NXT product. I think she's a great wrestler, but I don't think that she's an interesting character. I don't think that story with Tatum Paxley is strong enough to go into WrestleMania weekend with or stand and deliver with that as your main women's story. I think you return Roxanne Perez, the prodigy, to prominence, and you give her the title back, and she headlines, in a sense, or secondary main events, stand and deliver. There you go. Go ahead, Jizzle. You want to talk?
I'm totally listen. You are in my brain right now. Like, remember when Jack Swagger won that World Heavyweight Championship because he was like the Money in the Bank winner? That's what it kind of feels like to me. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels like how they were trying to say that the CM Punk was when he first got the titles a couple times. Like, you know what I'm saying, the title is bigger than him. Like the NXT Women's title seems bigger than Lyra, and it's never been bigger than the Prodigy. That's why I picked her. So you're in my brain right now.
I like that. Before we get into the main event, really quickly, Ivory Watkins in the chat, salute to her. She says, change the batteries in the smoke detector.
No.
The main event of NXT Vengeance Day is Trick Williams facing off against Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship. Who do we have?
I thought this thing had some real shit to say. I was like, we have another segment? What are you talking about?
Come on, let's wrap this up, man. What we doing here?
Hey,
we got Trick or we got
wrap it
Ilya,
up, B.
man.
Dragunov by pin. Like that. Because I tell you one thing. Yeah, we just read that report by House of Wrestling and about Trick Williams like having a crowd on his side and everything like that, but they're not putting that belt on him.
And I tricked by Black Excellence. That's what the BE stands for. I'm saying, shout out to acronyms. You know what I mean? Like whatever move he does, he's gonna hit that nigga with like 7 of them. Because I think Dragunov is gonna get called up more so he can fight Gunther and get that Intercontinental title off of him, and then like him and Pete Dunne can fight each other. It's gonna be like an all European slam, but that's for another show. I got Trick running NXT, and then him and Melo for forever.
I just changed my pick twice. I am going to go.
Oh my God, Graham 2 times.
I'm gonna go with Ilya, right? I'm gonna go with Ilya Dragon, right? I'm gonna go with him, and I'm gonna go with him by pinfall. Throw that out there. But this is my thing, though. This is my thing. If they were ever gonna do it, it should be right now, right? They should strike while the iron's hot with Trick Williams right freaking now. But the only reason why I say I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen is because I don't know if they want that pressure on Trick to be the NXT champion to main event, stand and deliver against Carmelo at this year. But then at the same time, maybe they trust him enough. He's delivered in every single sense of the word. Every time that they've put him in a high pressure moment. And then at the same time, that's what I want to say. And then at the same time, I really don't know who main events stand and deliver with Ilya as your NXT champion this year.
With Ilya, for what?
Who faces him for the championship? You know what I'm saying? If he remains champion,
but if Trick and Melo,
what's his stand and deliver match? You feel me? Because it has to be Melo and Trick.
Melo and Trick definitely have to do that, but Ilya has to do whatever he feel like. Listen, bro, you fight Gunther for the championship because CM Punk is going to fight with one arm. He's going to
talk about stand and deliver. We're not talking
about I'm talking about listen, like stand and deliver.
But Gunther's not going to come to stand and deliver to fight him for the Intercontinental title.
No, for Ilya, he can fight him at WrestleMania. It's the day after. Or the day of, like 16 hours before it, or was it like 4 hours before it? Listen, WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania weekend.
I don't know if they're going to bring him up and introduce him within, a month or, or 2 months time. I don't know if they're going to introduce him to, and give him that moment. I don't know if they're going to do that.
Like just to fight him like the last dude that beat Gunther. Like really?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that. They've been giving people way too much time to try to build things out than to just hotshot Ilya to the main roster and be like, "You're going to face Gunther now." Like I don't think that's how they're going to do that.
Wasn't Dominic Mysterio the North American champion while taking it to Raw? But like you could do that, stand and deliver, and then Gunther can fight.
You sound crazy. Dominic Mysterio was on the main roster for 2 years before they did any of that.
But then he still won the NXT championship, right?
Yeah, but that's him going down to NXT 2 years plus after being on the main roster. That's not Ilya. That's not Ilya coming to the main roster from developmental, you know what I'm saying, to be introduced to this main audience that he ain't been exposed to yet. That would be a dumb move, bro.
like him and Gunther and Stand and Deliver for
this
the Intercontinental title.
That'd be a dumb move.
If Gunther is still fighting for Seth Rollins' title, because who else is going to fight for
That'd
it?
be a dumb move. Why would Gunther go to? That's what I'm saying. Why would Gunther go to NXT to fight him for his title? You're beneath me, literally.
All right, man. Like I like to get all the belts. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody.
All right, let's close this out. Let's close this out because I don't want to argue with you. I really don't. I really don't. What happens here with Trick and Mello?
I got tricked by Black Excellence, and then him and Mello fight.
They're not fighting. No, I'm not. I'm saying they're not talking here. But I'm saying what happens here at Vengeance Day with Trick.
Mello interrupts the match, and he acts like he's gonna be. He acts like he's on Trick Williams' side, but really he double crosses him.
Trick wins regardless.
It's definitely gonna be a ref bump. Ref bump, by the way.
I don't care.
Hey man, we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Let's go ahead and close it out, man. Let's get the flip out of here, man, because I'm hungry and yeah, it's like that. And also, I'm trying to see when we can get Dave back on the show for you guys already. Let's see what's going. Let's see what's happening here. Bob Show dudes, that's swole shit. I was like, God damn, that's crazy.
Quincy Jones, nigga. Like, shout out.
All right, man. Follow us at the Enemies P3 on all social media platforms. I go by the name, oh my God, Graham. You can beat me there, meet me there, whatever you want to do, I'll be there. Hopefully you will be too. At the Enemies P3, like I said, patreon.com/public enemies. There's a new P3SPN that's about to be going up here in a few days or so. And yeah, man, we're just kind of trying to do the thing here. So you guys, what do you guys want to say before we exit? Because I'm done talking.
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at _SonOfMars_, and that's it. Pray that LeBron stops tweeting hourglasses. I think he's gonna join Karrion Kross group.
Yeah, make sure it's like this and not like this. You know what I'm saying? Listen, follow the future champ because that's what I'm about to be.
Okay.
That's me. You know what I'm saying? Board games. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I like writing stuff sometimes, as long as it's only 2 or 7 words at the most. But yeah, that's me, __ 2 E's. And yeah, man, follow the Patreon. Like, yeah, P3SPN came out literally this morning.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You told me 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I mean, correction's not punishment.
No. I need to be corrected because I hadn't looked. So my bad.
Oh, man. I just made sure, you know what I'm saying? I found a new way. So like more stuff will be coming because like I found a way where I can fucking like download everything and then like still have my computer on and like stuff wouldn't stop. So yeah, shout out to us, shout out to Patreon, and yeah, man, Vengeance Day is coming, and happy Black History Month to my brothers, and thank you for being here for me at my toughest time because this has been a really tough time, and then like. Thank you for not laughing at me because I deserve to be laughed at.
No, yeah, I'm definitely going to laugh at you, man. Hopefully you guys laughed a little bit through this episode, but next week, come back and laugh a little bit more. Beat us here. Don't meet us here. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other. Deuces.